I realize you must have had disparaging comments thrown at you by malicious women, who, in the effort to fill the void inside, could be impaled by a 10-foot steel pole and still feel nothing. But rest assured, I want to alleviate your anxiety. It seems if nature has given a man a smaller penis, she's also given him a bigger conscience. For some reason, these men seem to understand the importance of faithfulness, making for a more thoughtful and dutiful life partner. As for the bigger man, between his legs is the ever-present reminder of his virility. He'll bask in the attention and admiration of others, but he'll soon begin to rely on his big one for confidence. No matter the situation, he'll be sure that having a large penis would make him desirable and attractive. He will begin to think less of himself, believing that all he needed was his appendage. He'll stop caring about his appearance and dress, no longer putting in any effort, and will be content to stay at home and let his member do all the work, thinking he never needs to make an effort to engage in meaningful conversations or to be witty or charming in social situations. He will stop taking risks or trying new things, instead relying on his penis to get him through life, becoming increasingly complacent, believing that his penis was all he needed to be successful. Though he'll be content in his complacency, he will lack meaning. He will become so reliant on his penis that he will stop thinking for himself and have no character, and will become like an empty shell, defined by his penis but lacking any substance or depth. In the end, he will realize that his penis was not enough, and by that time it'll be too late. In the bedroom, a smaller penis can certainly pack a punch. His size may be insignificant to some, but skill and technique more than make up for it. A perfect example of how being well endowed isn't necessary for great sex. In fact, it can be a hindrance. It's not the size of the boat, but the motion of the ocean that counts. It's a fact that a man with an overly large penis is more likely to cause pain than pleasure. No matter how much you might like to think otherwise, a big penis can often find itself in the wrong place at the wrong time, inflicting injury and discomfort on all those unfortunate enough to get in its way. A man with a large penis is like a man with a large hammer. He tends to think that everything is a nail, and that can cause a great deal of pain and discomfort. And I think it's fair to say that in terms of aesthetics, a small penis is often more pleasing to the eye than a large one. It's like a mini masterpiece, and I'm sure that any artist would appreciate its delicate beauty and symmetry. Of course, if you want to be really adventurous, you could try a little bit of penis landscaping, although I'm not sure how well that would go down in the local park. A big one looks actually quite frightening, and not something you'd want to see on a daily basis. It is like a giant, pulsating, uncontrollable force of nature that can't be stopped. Like a snarling villain from a Disney movie. A big one can be rather like having a large pet in the house. The penis can be quite temperamental and tends to move around the house as it pleases. You often find it lurking in the corners or standing over you as you sleep. It's a bit like having an elephant in the room, but one that's far more difficult to ignore indeed. Sometimes you can wake up in the middle of the night and find it standing there, just looking at you. It's like it's trying to tell you something, but what is it? Perhaps it's trying to warn you of the dangers of too much pleasure, or to remind you that size isn't everything. A small penis is much more well-mannered. It will never get in the way and does its best to keep it tucked away out of sight. It never asks for too much attention and never makes a big fuss when people noticed it. It's never one to intrude unannounced. The philosophy of a small penis is like a tiny pebble in a vast ocean, its thoughts barely making a ripple in the vastness of the universe. It is as if its ideas are as small as the organ itself, a speck of dust in the grand scheme of things. Yet, no matter how small its voice may be, its words still manage to carry its unique perspective and bring new ideas to the table. And remember to ignore the ones with insatiable vaginas. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again. Like and subscribe for more videos.